I want to tell you, Rwanda is not to blame for the incursion in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Definitely.
The people inside Democratic Republic of Congo are to blame for the revolutions, for the revolts, for the rebellion. If Congo stabilizes, I want to tell you today, if Congo stabilizes, Africa will be rich forever.
Nwab TV, inspiration in reality.
Yes, are you there? Good evening, friends of Nwab TV all along East African countries. Kenya, Nairobi, Uganda, Kampala, Bujumbura, Kigali, Rwanda. Yes, as usual, we have a guest in our camera. Yes, he's going to be introducing himself to you. And I encourage you who have not subscribed to Nwab TV to please do subscribe, comment, share, because this story, this video, it may help your colleague, it may help your friend to get this information which is profitable to the society. Yes, Mr. in camera, may you introduce yourself to the viewers of Nwab TV?
Yes, good evening. I'm Lion Perez Rumanzi. I'm an activist, a journalist, and a politician, and a human rights defender throughout East Africa. I do my work with Monitor Publications. I've participated in politics, in elective politics. I've done so many things. I head the youth programs in the District 411B Uganda under the Lions Clubs International.
Yes.
I'm a family man and many other things that I do for the change of this world.
All right, this is Rumanzi Press. Yeah, we are going to be discussing briefly on the issues that have raised. It is not of today. It's been a long issue since 2012. So many people outside they are very scared, but they have questions, yet they can't find answers. It is an issue that is happening in East Africa, of which our readers today cannot explain much, though some have explained, but still people are not satisfied. You as a political analyst, a journalist, yes, as you have mentioned many areas, please, we are going to be highlighting people about M23. M23, many people are scared, even those people who don't know who are M23. Mr. Prez, I know you've heard about the scandals that are happening. Who are M23 so far?
It's hard to explain who M23 is, but this is, we can say it is a political movement, we can say it is a rebel force, we can say it is a militant organization that is operating basically in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, but also successfully operating its cells in Uganda and Rwanda and Burundi.
Okay.
Basically, most of the leaders under M23 are living in those three countries.
All right.
And it started way back around 15 years, maybe. They have been in operation around 15 years. They have been doing a lot of activities. They have been trying to manipulate the politics in the Democratic Republic of Congo, sometimes failing, sometimes gaining, and basically doing a lot of activity that we can call the rebel activities.
All right.
They have been trying to take over towns. They have been trying to take over regions. They have been trying to make politics to move and get the leadership of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
All right.
Remember, the Democratic Congo is one of the most polarized countries with political instability, with military instability here and there, with many rebel forces operating there. There are rebel forces for you against Uganda. There are rebel forces against Rwanda. There are rebel forces against the Democratic Republic of Congo itself. There are rebel forces against the Angola Republic and all the neighboring countries. Look at the Democratic Congo as one of the areas, because it's a virgin area. It's a least protected area. Whereas the Democratic Congo has a lot of population, has a good population, has a good fertile lands, has minerals, has whatever. But its defense mechanism has been very low. There has not been a time when the entire Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, be it Zaire time, be it whatever, when it is fully stable as a country.
All right, Mr. Praise, where could these people be coming from? Are they Ugandans? Are they Rwandese? Are they Congolese? Because many say these could be Ugandans who left Uganda by 2020, 2000, and
the area they operate in is difficult to identify whether they are Ugandans, Rwandans, or Congolese, because they operate in an area, North Kivu and South Kivu. Those two regions actually accommodate people who speak Rwandese, who speak Ugandan languages, who speak languages in Congo, and the commanders, as I told you, some of the commanders of the M23 sometimes live in Uganda, sometimes they live in Congo, sometimes they live in Rwanda, other times they are everywhere in the world. So it's hard to know who these people are. It's hard to know where their base is. What we only know is that the language they speak is basically Rundande. They speak Rundande.
Yes.
They speak Rwandese, good Rwandese. Some will speak Rukonjo. Others speak Lingala. But Lingala, basically, very few.
Yes.
I've met some of them. I've talked to some of them, and I think we cannot distinguish where these guys come from.
Yes.
But they claim to be residents of Congo. We used to have the Banyamulenge revolution inside Congo, but it's no more. But these are people who are from different tribes inside Congo, different tribes that have distance in Uganda, that have distance in Rwanda, who think that they can stabilize the Democratic Republic of Congo, especially the eastern part.
Especially the eastern part. Then why is it that Uganda is much concerned and much mentioned in this fighting that is happening in Congo? Because for us Ugandans today, you meet someone and tells you, no, this is not going well because of the war that is happening in Congo. You meet Rwandese, they tell you the same. Kenyans will tell you the same. And they have had many stories about President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and His Excellency Paulo Kagame, and the tension of many people are much concerned on these two African presidents. Why is it that their name is becoming much common in...
These are presidents that you cannot avoid when you are speaking about East African politics. They have been in power they have been in power for the longest time. They have been there more than other East African presidents have been there.
Yes.
For example, President Museveni has been here, where Tanzania has had 6 presidents, Kenya has had 4 presidents, Kagame has been in Rwanda since around 2000.
Yes.
And there has been very many changes in East Africa. Museveni was there when there was Mobutu Sese Seko. Mobutu Sese Seko went, there came Laurent Kabila. After Laurent Kabila, they came Kabila Jr. After Kabila Jr., we now have Tshisekedi. So they are the people we believe should be stabilizing East Africa.
All right.
When they come in and their voices do not reflect the stability of East Africa, then everyone points the fingers at these two presidents. Because the old boys, they are old boys. They are fathers of East Africa.
Yes.
They revived East Africa together, the East African community. They have invited many other East African states to join East African community. But the issue of peace building has failed them. Whenever something about instability is mentioned, people point fingers at Museveni.
Yes.
People point fingers at President Kagame. People, we know what happened in South Sudan. We know what has been happening in DR Congo. We know what has been happening in Burundi. You know what is definitely Congo. Congo is a different state.
Yes.
But we also know what happened in Kenya around 2007.
Yes.
And where these people. But we also know that Uganda hosts a number of refugees from the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as combatants from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yes.
Remember, the current president of Burundi was staying in Uganda for a while. They have been the president, the former president of DR Congo, Joseph Kabila, was also staying in Uganda.
Yes.
He has so many friends in Uganda. There are so many other things that connect the presidents of Uganda, the president of Rwanda, to the instability in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yes.
It may be misconceived, it may be misconstrued, it may be a myth, but because they have overstayed in power and they are the fathers we look up to, the army crossing over. For example, Ugandan army has been in Congo multiple times trying to chase away the people they believe are rebels from fighting the Republic of Uganda. Rwanda has been there fighting FDLR. It has been fighting with different forces. You know that Sangani issue.
Yes,
you know
I remember.
how Mobutu Sese Seko was removed. You know how Laurent Kabila was removed. You know how Joseph Kabila came to power. These presidents, the two presidents, have been in this saga all along, and they cannot avoid this thing.
All right. So this saga of M23, how is it going to benefit Ugandans? Cause is it going to benefit Uganda, or it is going to tarnish the name of Uganda as a country? Cause if you happen now to cross the border and you are Ugandan, many people will be scared of you. This is a Ugandan, is mega, is an intelligent from the government of Uganda. And when it comes to Rwanda, they say M23 could be the Rwandese, but who were born in Congo, and it could be a cause, it could be a result of colonization, that many Banyamurenges were born in Congo, and they are fighting for their peace. They want their freedom. They want to be there, because they are not fighting. They are not fighting to come back to Uganda or to come back to Rwanda. For them, they are fighting to have their own peace.
Now, the first question was, how is it going to benefit Uganda? Or instability can never benefit any state. If these rebels, if these fighters, if these revolutionaries move ahead and get the state power, maybe there may be a benefit. Because I saw how they were behaving when they reached Goma, cleaning the town, doing some activities, community work and whatever.
Yes.
They looked sober guys. But some people are sober like Satan.
Yes.
You know, Satan becomes sober when he's convincing you. But when it comes to the time when it has to do the real action on you, you become ashamed.
Yes.
So I cannot trust people who just put on combat and start doing community mobilization.
Yes.
Now looking at these factors, I want to say, as Uganda, we cannot benefit. But this is historical, as you say.
Yes.
In 1963, around 1963-64, there was what we call the Katanga secession.
Yes.
The Katanga War.
Yes.
You can point at guys, the murder or the assassination of the first leader of the Congo, Patrice Lumumba.
Yes.
The rise of Moise Sombe. Then the coming in of the mercenaries, the white mercenaries who wanted to take over Katanga province and make it their own.
Yes. Yes.
With guidance of Moise Sombe. Moise Sombe later also died. But those mercenaries have very many books written about them, the mercenaries of Congo, and how they looted Congo, how they looted minerals, how they looted copper and many other things.
Yes.
The war in Congo, I would briefly describe it as an economic war of plunder.
Of plunder.
The economic war of plunder. The Europeans, the colonialists, never want Congo to stabilize, because if Congo stabilizes, I want to tell you today, if Congo stabilizes, Africa will be rich forever, because it is the nucleus of African riches. Its stability will increase the riches of Africa, because we may establish the mining sector, we may establish the farming sector, we may establish the timber, the very many things in Congo.
Yes.
If Congo joins the East African community, as we had thought, as we had celebrated that they are joining the East African community, and join this cradle of more than 90% arable land, of more than 20% of the mineral-rich land, of a lot of water, fresh water, of the green environment, the evergreen tropical environment of the DR Congo.
Yes.
Joins Uganda, joins Kenya, joins Tanzania.
Right.
Imagine a force that comes with the population and trade.
Yes.
Imagine a force that comes with the mining, with the industry that will develop. But you know, these guys will never want it to happen. So they would bribe the presidents around East Africa.
So
and the presidents started destabilizing this region.
So
they would bribe rebels. They would bribe some people to start destabilizing the region as rebels, as other movements.
So who is to blame? To be blamed in this scenario? Because I've been looking at Tanzania. Tanzania is not mentioned in this. Only Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Angola, and South Africa. Is this going to be the cause of the first African war?
I want to tell you this. We have selfish leaders in Africa. Very selfish. They only think about themselves and their families. You can look at the leaders around you, whichever president you have.
Yes.
Whichever president, they are only selfish leaders. They don't look at Africa. African development has been failed. You walk through the borders of a country and you are looked at as if you are a total foreigner. And yet we are Africans.
But in Rwanda,
yes.
I have been in Rwanda, and you really know,
Yes.
I've been there 14 years, and recently even I got my nationality, Rwandan nationality.
Yes.
I've been there. It is the only country I have been
that
and
values the rights
that
of
values
Rwandans,
the rights of Rwandans.
not Africans.
And when it comes to foreigners,
Yes.
they still value foreigners because
They value foreigners as foreigners, not as Africans. These borders we have were created in a room.
Yes.
Just in a mere room. They drew a map and started cutting like you are cutting meat.
Yes.
But imagine a person crossing from Tanzania, for example, to Rwanda.
Yes.
That you need a passport.
Definitely.
That you are crossing a border
If you are
A
to work,
person-
if you are to stay in Tanzania and work
Yes,
from there, you will
if
need
you
a
are to
work,
stay in
work
Tanzania,
permit.
you need a work permit. If you are to work in Rwanda, you need a work permit. If you are to work in Uganda, you need a work permit.
Yes.
You see someone from Rwanda and is in Uganda and you think he's a foreigner. And we still have people we call refugees who are coming from Congo. They are just staying here and they go into settlement camps. And we call that Africa. How can a Congolese stay in Uganda and you call that a refugee and you put them in a refugee settlement? Those are internally displaced Africans because they are displaced inside Africa because of the greed of the leaders of Africa who want to stay in power, who want to enjoy riches as the people grow poor and poorer.
Where is this going to take Africa? Actually, East Africa, because it is mostly mentioned in East Africa.
We don't have East Africa. We don't. More especially the thing called the East African community. That's a fallacy. I want to say that East African community is just in the head of leaders of East Africa, but it's not in the community of East Africans. No one enjoys what East Africa means as a person born and living in East Africa. We simply look at East Africa as just mere borders. But what we see is the leaders in conferences, sharing cakes from Europeans, sharing salaries from European Union, sharing loans, doing several things that are not African. I want to tell you, if the East African community gets inside the heads of East Africans, we shall have proper and real development.
To the president of Congo, Tshisekedi, what can he do to stop these fightings that are happening in North Kivu, to bring peace to his citizens? Because there could be a war of maybe it could be a revolutionary
It's a
war
war of conscience.
but still people are dying. What could he do to stop the fighting in his country?
There are three things that Congo can do, not only about Tshisekedi doing it. One, Congo has the biggest population in the Central and East Africa. It is also the widest country. It has the biggest surface area. It has the best lakes. It has the best mineral sources. One, it's uniting the Democratic Republic of Congo. Make sure that the person who lives in a Rutshuru is the same as the person who lives in Kinshasa.
But the government of Congo has failed many years.
No, it has failed because of external factors, not because of internal factors.
So why are they blaming Rwanda?
I want to tell you two. I said three.
Yes.
Two, they must build a national army that has all tribes, very well trained, that can combat any external aggression, any rebellion. Then number three, they must make sure that their people are happy. They must make sure that their people are happy. A happy population prevents insecurity. But going into Congo, you see poor families, you see poor people, you see people who have been running from wars. Rwanda is not to blame for this. I want to tell you, Rwanda is not to blame for the incursion in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Definitely.
The people inside Democratic Republic of Congo are to blame for the revolutions, for the revolts, for the rebellion. Because they support the rebellion.
Rwanda,
if anyone comes from outside and they chase him, they will never have a rebellion. Rwanda has been trying to stabilize its state from 1990s. They have tried so hard to eliminate tribalism.
Yes.
They have tried so hard to eliminate nepotism in the country. They have tried so hard to heal the wounds of the genocide.
Yes.
And part of doing that is pacifying the Democratic Republic of Congo. Because if these are people who escaped into the Democratic Republic of Congo come back and start destabilizing Rwanda, what will happen? I believe there must be a unifying factor for all the Congolese people. But that unifying factor must also involve the neighboring countries, especially Uganda and Rwanda. Uganda and Rwanda, because these have been the countries that have normally been choosing people living in Congo of coming to fight wars in their country.
All right, Mr. Prez, I have another question. Actually, me, I work as a watchdog because I know many people outside there are watching, and this is going to help them. They have been having questions and no one to answer. Though His Excellency Paul Kagame has tried in many ways to answer these people who blame him to be the cause or to be the financier of the fightings that are happening in Congo. Though you have, I think this is clear to them, you have cleared it well. But for Congo, if these people continue fighting, where is it going to end? And how are these people mentioned in the war to be the sponsors of the fightings in Congo, which is Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and His Excellency Paul Kagame? How is it going to affect them, and how is it going to affect their country and citizens?
First of all, the two presidents do not have a forever lifetime. Actually, they are in the evening of their age of departure from state power. The only thing they can give as a gift before their retirement is peace in Congo.
Peace in Congo.
Peace in Congo. Before before President Kagame retires, before President Museveni retires, they should hand over a peaceful democratic republic of Congo. Not basically because we think they have been involved in the wars, but because we see them as elders in the region who should get involved in talks, in uniting Congo to make it the core area of African development, the core region, the core nucleus of African revolution, of African industrial revolution, of African social revolution, of African education revolution, of African security revolution. That it will be an example, and the Moise Sombe issue, the Katanga secession issue, shall never surface in Africa again. We want a united Congo that will be a pride of everyone. I want to tell you, Africa is greater than America. Africa is greater than Europe combined. Africa is greater than Asia. These buildings you are seeing coming up in Dubai, coming up in Indonesia, coming up everywhere, coming up in United Arab Emirates, coming up in Saudi Arabia, can be in Africa.
Can be in Africa.
The countries you're seeing, the industrial revolution you're seeing in Korea can be in Africa. But we have a challenge of leadership. We need the two presidents, as you have said, Kagame, President Kagame, President Museveni, to participate in making this before age catches up with them and they leave power.
What is the role of Tshisekedi as a president of the Democratic Republic of Congo? Because I think this is his second term.
It's the first term.
Is the second term. Yes, it's the second term. He has been in power and now he's back. I think, was it last year when they had elections, and even in his first term, these fightings have been there. And even in his second term, instead of finding a solution himself, is blaming Paul Kagame and Yoweri Museveni to be the cause. Because he says that these M23 came from Uganda 2012. But and President Kagame, in his speeches, he has repeatedly said that these are the natives of Congo, but who had escaped from Congo due to the cause of instabilities in the Congo that they have had for past years. And when they came back from Uganda, going back to Congo, the government of Congo never welcomed them as Congolese. They said these are Ugandans, these are Rwandese from who were trained in Uganda, and they later went back to Rwanda. They later invaded Congo to cause instabilities. So which means him as a president, he has failed. He has failed to play his role. And he's putting a blame on other presidents. Because when you go to Rwanda, I think Burundi that doesn't speak well of Rwanda because of the development that Rwanda, the speed of development that Rwanda is having.
There is no envy. There is no envy. I want to tell you, humanity is always a blame game. Even when Adam ate the sacred fruit, he blamed Eve. Eve blamed the snake.
Yes.
When Cain killed his brother Abel,
yes,
he said, I'm not the brother's keeper. Unless we are brother's keepers.
Unless we are brothers keepers.
Unless we are brothers keepers. Kisekedi will still remain the poor Kisekedi that inherited the wrongs of the past. I want to tell you this, that the instability in Congo, the basic instability in Congo that we are seeing now, began around 1995, 1997. Mobutu was toppled in 1997, 98 there.
Yes.
Since then, there's been total instability. Even when Mobutu was thought to be a dictator, a great dictator, a great economic seafarer, but there was a semblance of peace in Congo. Congo was not developed the way it is now, but we saw some peacefulness.
Yes.
He should have been helped to make a proper transition without killing people to have the Congo now that we have.
Why is it that President of Congo, instead of engaging in peace talks with African presidents?
You know, when you call upon a brother and you ask him to engage, to unify your nation, but your brother seems not interested, then you start thinking that he's interested in the revolution of your competitors. He thinks, Tshisekedi himself actually thinks that Kagame, that Museveni should participate directly in the peacefulness of Congo. And he's right. He's right. I want to tell you. But he's not seeing them anywhere. Why should he not think that?
But Kagame has showed up many times trying to talk to this man.
I want to tell you that there is a thing called dialectic that I mentioned. Dialectic. We need to see Kagame directly involved We need to see Museveni directly involved, calling these rebels and telling them, please, Congo is for us all. Africa is for us all. We need to see leaders involved, not saying let us have let's have a fish party, let's now eat some sausages, let's now go to a conference. We need the leaders involved directly in peace building, in talking to communities there. We want to see action for Africa. We want to see peace in Africa. We don't see Congo as Congo. We see Congo as a nucleus of peace, as a nucleus of African revolution. But if this is not done, I want to tell you, the blame game will continue.
I think President, His Excellency Paul Kagame has done his part. There is a time I remember 600 armed forces, armed people crossed borders and came to Rwanda. And what Rwanda did, they disarmed.
They also came to Uganda.
Yes, they disarmed them and
arrested the leader.
And they were retained in one place.
Yes.
To which President Kagame even called Congo to come and speak to their people.
Where are they now?
I may not be updated on where they are,
yes,
but they were camped in Chibungo.
When the M23 guys crossed to Uganda and camped in Bihanga, where are they now?
I may not be knowing where they are, but
were they integrated in the democratic forces of DRC? Were those in Rwanda integrated into the forces in DRC? Where are they? Were they left to be freelancers? Were they left to be mercenaries? Are they rebels? Are they among the M23 now?
But in Rwanda, they are still there. They are still there. They are retained.
Where are they?
They are retained in one place.
Would you ascertain where they are now? Or the Congo government thinks that these are the people who are now fighting them?
But Congo government came. They spoke to their people. They know where they are.
Where they were then? Those were Congo forces, the forces of the Congo. Were they reintegrated? These are the challenges the president of the DRC is talking about.
So why is he taking this issue?
He is speaking so that these leaders can rise and defend the Congo.
But he has put it on another level because he has failed to call fellow leaders. He has failed to call fellow leaders and is taking an issue to people whom actually we think they are the root causes of this problem. Because if you fail to handle a case, you take it to USA. If you fail to handle an issue as an African, you take it to France.
Who solved the Katanga secession? Who solved the Katanga secession? Africa was here. African Union is just a toothless dog.
No.
East African community is a toothless dog.
So should we get
how many weapons has Uganda donated to DRC? How many weapons has Rwanda donated to DRC to defeat the rebels? How much money has East African community countries offered to the DRC to help in democratizing the DRC? You go to a person who can help you. You don't go to a person who will just laugh at you, smile at you, and wish you well. France is helping. It's giving some military aid.
Really?
Yes. While they come and exploit the minerals.
Are they not looting?
Well, yes. They are doing the job they want. Uganda is not doing the job they want. Uganda simply goes there and starts chasing their own rebels. Do they help the Congo to do something? Have they stabilized the Congo? Has Rwanda gone to Congo and tried to stabilize Congo? Or they are just there also chasing around their own problems? Rwanda is chasing FDRL. Uganda is chasing ADF.
But also Congo,
Uganda is chasing LRA there.
Congo is said to have been
they have no business in stability of Congo. They only have their own businesses, the internal relations, the internal relations. They are fighting their own wars inside Congo. They are not helping Congo to do anything. They should come up and form a force that can fight for Congo, unify Congo, and pacify it, and make it a beautiful country that we look at.
So who sponsors FDLR? Because you have mentioned it, and I think
who's a rebel force?
But they say Congo
Yes.
could be the direct sponsors of FDLR to destabilize the peace of Rwanda.
If there are rebels staying in Congo, if the rebels of FDLR are staying in Congo, we would wish the government of Congo to chase them. But do they have the means?
Because they say, the history says FDLR are those people who committed genocide against Tutsi.
There may be some people who committed genocide against the Tutsi, against the Rwandans.
But Congo has failed to give them out, and Rwanda requested it, and they never.
How do you capture rebel? Are they in a room so that they can be captured and handed off? They're also running their own errands.
The government, the Congo's government, Congolese government.
There are people who have been arrested in France who committed genocide.
Yes.
There are people who have been arrested in Central African Republic. There are people who have been arrested in the USA. But how do they get arrested? Do they find them in a room so that they get them and say, Sebo, can we take them? Can we take you? Or they get them and arrest them? After years, remember, these are developed countries we are talking about. France, Rome, they are developed countries that can track a person and get them. But they have failed to track these people for years.
Because Congo...
And Congo, the rudimentary Congo, you know, and you accuse Congo of not capturing the people that are hiding inside Congo. You know the security of Africa, the polarization. I want to tell you, the only thing that we want as Africans is to see the big brothers, the African brothers, play a role in pacifying Congo. And those are basically President Kagame, President Museveni, the President of Angola, the President of South Africa, the President of Zambia actually. We need we need the President of Kenya, given that we need the President of Tanzania. We need them to play a part in the unification, the reunification of Congo.
All right.
If that is not done, as leaders, we shall keep choosing them for not doing something about the wars in Congo when they would have done something when they were leadership.
Thank you, Mr. Rumanzi Perez, for enlightening us more about the fightings and the history of M23 and people in Congo. And I know the viewers of Nwab TV are going to learn much from this interview. As we are coming to an end, in your introduction you said that Kagame should not be blamed of the fightings in Congo. Could you please, in 1 minute, could you please highlight people who are viewing to this TV, Nwab TV, more again, because there could be other people, at least, because many people, especially Rwandese, are scared that Kagame could be the one sponsoring M23. So I want you to briefly to affirm to people, these people who are scared and who are blaming Kagame to be the major sponsor of the fightings that are happening in Congo.
If Kagame was the sponsor of the fightings in the DR Congo, Congo would not be having the government it has, because he has the capacity to take over the government of Congo as Rwanda if he sponsors rebels. But I want also to add that Congo has had traditional challenges. The traditional challenges from the 1960s that cropped up from the Katanga secession, Moise Sombe, of the murder of Patrice Lumumba, of many others that are that's tradition. The Rwanda has been chasing rebels inside Congo. Uganda has been chasing rebels inside Congo, and thus President Kagame has nothing to do with that. He also is on the receiving end of the fighting in the DRC. If the DRC was stable, Kagame would be the happiest person in the world, because he would be enjoying stability in Rwanda. He would not be scared about genocide anymore. He would not be scared about instability in Rwanda. But if you have a bad neighbor, or if you have a neighbor with a smelling toilet, it's hard for you not to be scared about having cholera.
All right.
Therefore, you must be prepared all the time, as Kagame prepares to counter any involution that comes in from the DRC.
Thank you, Mr. Romans Perez, a political analyst, for honoring my invitation. I know this is going to help many people out there who have been blaming His Excellency Paul Kagame. Yeah, thank you.
NWAB TV, inspiration in reality.